Hello, everyone, and welcome to Aria412's third installment of Up Close and Personal. I am Desiree Soteris.
And I'm Kelly Lynch.
And we're the co-founders of Aria412. I was wondering, since we are having Matt Gillespie on our show today, I was wondering what it's like to live with a live-in accompanist.
Oh, oh, it's just magical and wonderful. I am very blessed to have such an artist living in the house with me, especially during these times. But in general, when we're working together, when we have a project together, we tend to practice. But in normal life, we don't. If we don't have anything going on, we sit at home and watch Star Trek like normal people with the cats on our lap and do all of those kind of fun things. Yeah.
So, you know, the last time on the show, we learned a lot about soprano Catherine Bell and how much yoga you and I cannot do. So today, we're going to have Matt Gillespie as our special third guest. So could you tell us a little bit about him?
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, Matt has been such a great supporter of Aria412 by collaborating with you and me and all of our guest artists since we started. How many years ago has it been? It's been a long time.
4.5 years ago?
My Lord. Okay. Yeah, I'm learning all kinds of things. Matt is from Asheville, North Carolina, and he studied composition, piano, and harpsichord at the University of North Carolina, Greensboro, and East Carolina University. He moved to Pittsburgh in 2005 to study at Pitt, where he completed his PhD. I didn't know he was a doctor too. His PhD in music theory and composition in 2014. He's an active performer of both new and old music in many styles and traditions. He's the principal accompanist for us, Aria412. He's a founding member and a principal pianist of Alia Musica, Pittsburgh, as well as the founding member of the Boar's Head Wassail Choir. He has written many solo, chamber, and vocal works, and he's currently composing Thomas the Rhymer, an opera with libretto by somebody I think you know, our MC, Kip Soteris.
Maybe we should invite
Let's bring him in.
All right.
Excellent.
Gillespie, welcome.
Hello.
Is it hot enough for you?
It's pretty warm, yes. Thank you for
You're welcome. Well, welcome to Up Close and Personal. We are so excited to have you here to learn more about you. And for our Aria412 audiences, you know, they see you every month, almost every month since we've begun. And I know a lot of them want to know more about you. So I guess to start, I was wondering what brought you to Pittsburgh, where you're from, and just a little bit about your background.
Okay, well, I moved to Pittsburgh in 2005. I came here to study at Pitt to get my PhD in music, and that took a little longer than I anticipated, and I've been here ever since.
Who were some of the people that led you into studying piano and composition, one or the other, or both?
That's a good question. I started taking piano lessons as a young child, about 5 or 6. Didn't really enjoy it that much until I was in high school, and began studying Chopin and Debussy and Scott Joplin, and decided to try and write music like those guys. And so it was around high school that I sort of got into music on my own, like seriously, and decided that's what I wanted to do. So I began studying piano seriously on my own and composing and learning how music works, and never really stopped.
What was the first thing you composed?
That's a good question. It was, I believe the first piece I finished was a waltz.
For the piano solo, or?
Yeah, it was a solo piano piece. I think that was the first piece. And I was terribly proud of it, and submitted it to colleges to try and get into the composition program, a couple other pieces, and I don't think they were terribly impressed, but it was enough to get me in.
So I know that you are a multifaceted performer, and so you work with a lot of companies here around Pittsburgh, and I hear that you sing with some companies. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I helped found the Boar's Head Wassail Choir, which is a seasonal caroling group. We do door-to-door caroling each December, and we perform mostly medieval Renaissance era carols, and that's a great deal of fun as well.
I was just going to say, do you guys make wassail?
Usually somebody will make some sort of festive, intoxicating beverage for us to carry around with us of one sort or another. And often people invite us into their homes and ply us with alcohol and food as well, which is
Count me in.
reason for the season, so to speak.
That's a good reason to go caroling.
Yes, it is. It's a lot of fun.
You know, I've heard you have a lot of records, Matthew. Do you collect LPs?
We have a collection. Yes, we do. I don't know who told you that, but it's not.
A little bird.
Okay, it's not intentional.
What kind of records do you like?
Oh goodness. I used to have a great deal of classical records that I got at university record sales. I got rid of a lot of those. Now we have a lot of 70s and 80s pop, a lot of jazz. We have a lot of sort of party records from the 40s and 50s, and quite an eclectic mix. And we listen to them quite frequently.
If you had to pick an album to put on right now, which one would it be?
Probably the soundtrack to Dangerous Liaisons that Thelonious Monk recorded back in the 60s, which was actually just released publicly a few years ago.
Do you have like any crazy performance stories?
Crazy performance. Yeah, here's one that's a little crazy. In 2008, maybe 2009, I can't remember the year, Alia Musica premiered a piano concerto by James Ogburn, really good composer, good friend of mine from Pitt. He wrote a piano concerto for me that we premiered, and during the performance, the piano started rolling away from me on stage.
Oh my God.
And it was a pretty hard piece that James wrote, and it did not need the added difficulty of a moving piano. So Federico Garcia, who was turning pages for me, had to grab the piano as he was turning pages with his other hand. He had to hold the piano, which still kept moving, and keep it from rolling completely away from me. It would have taken out half of the wind section.
Oh my God.
He hadn't done that. So
it's frightening.
That reminds me of on stage singing The Queen of the Night on a contraption that was way up off the ground on wheels that started rolling down the stage because it was a rake stage. I was headed for the orchestra pit, and poor Tamino, the guy playing Tamino, had to throw himself in front of this contraption and stop it, because I would have taken out probably half the orchestra. This contraption was so big. It was crazy.
They don't teach you about this when you're studying in school and when you're starting out, the things you may have to deal with.
I hear you have a lot of Hawaiian shirts. About how many do you have?
I don't know how these rumors get started. Perhaps now we can put an end to them. I have, I think, 4, maybe 5 Hawaiian shirts. I don't necessarily want to be known as Hawaiian shirt guy, but I do have a few.
Perhaps you'll wear one of your more flamboyant ones for our upcoming beach party concert.
I dare say that's a good possibility.
Are we ready?
Ready for what, Kelly?
Are we ready for the wheel of piano / opera / composition?
Yes, we are ready. But Matt, are you ready?
I think I'm ready. Not getting any readier. So
Okay. I am going to bring the wheel in.
All right.
There it is.
That was very, very smooth.
Are you ready, Matt?
I am ready.
Okay.
Since you're such a fantastic composer and pianist, I thought, why not ask you some questions about composers and pianists?
All righty.
Desiree will spin the wheel, and within the wheel there are various categories linked to each color on the wheel. So whatever color the wheel lands on will tell us what kind of question we're going to ask you. So should it land on green, you're going to have famous composers' alternate professions. Thought I'd shake it up for you. If it lands on blue, questions about piano compositions. If it lands on purple, it will be, who wrote that opera? If it lands on red, you get to spin again. If it lands on yellow, it's your choice, whatever kind of question. If it lands on orange, it's Desiree's choice. So you ready to play?
This feels rigged to me, but I'm ready.
Okay, it may be rigged, but I don't know. The wheel is random. That adds the joy and fun of randomness to every show. So here we go.
Here we go. I'm going to spin it. Hope it doesn't fall. Orange.
I knew it.
There it is. So orange means this happens like this happened last time.
Yeah.
Do you want to try again or should we go?
No, please go right ahead.
All right, Desiree.
Okay. I think I will pick blue for piano compositions. What famous Russian composer wrote a ragtime for piano? Since you love ragtime, I thought surely this would be a good one.
I do. I don't honestly know, but I'm going to guess Igor Stravinsky.
Bravo!
Woo!
Congratulations, Matt. You answered correctly. That means you get to pick the piece of your choice to play. So what's it going to be today?
I would like to play, since we were talking about Thelonious Monk, I'm going to play a piece by him called Panonica. It's a piece that he wrote for his patron and admirer. And it's a beautiful piece. It's in my own arrangement of Panonica, and I'll be playing that piece.
Bravo! That was absolutely fantastic, Matt. Thank you.
Not at all.
It's really nice to hear you play solo.
Don't get to do it often enough, that's for sure.
Kelly?
Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready. Are you ready, Matt? Do you know what time it is?
No.
It's time for 15 seconds.
Of shoots.
Oh God, I love seeing those shoes. It's such a pleasure just seeing us strut our stuff. So I am like totally like enamored with the shoes you had on today, Kelly. Can you tell me a little bit about them?
Oh, I bought them years ago. They're these fantastic sandals. I love them, but where are you going to wear them? They spiky pointy heels, and they're just beautiful.
Yeah, all around your house. Like that's the perfect place.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I do. I mean, I'm just constantly, practicing my high heel strut. So,
Vacuuming. Mowing the lawn doesn't work so well, but vacuuming could work.
Yeah, vacuuming, yes. Well, Matt, that means it's time for the celebrity opera skill or celebrity piano skill in this case. So what are you going to do for us today?
Well, such skills as I have are fairly limited, but I am going to show viewers how to make a Prince Kuragin, which is a cocktail that my fiance and I invented. It's named after a character from Downton Abbey. If anyone's ever watched that, he was the former love interest of Maggie Smith's character. He's a Russian prince fleeing the revolution. Anyway, it's a delicious cocktail, which is good for using up some of the miscellaneous liqueurs that people have in their liquor cabinets and don't know what to do with. So.
Looking forward.
Yes, I've had Kip and I have had the honor of trying some of these beverages and your fantastic menu of kind of like really far out drinks.
Yes.
Very tasty, I have to admit.
Well, there's not much else to do these days, so we mix alcohols and see what happens.
Groovy.
Okay, so Downton Abbey. I think Kelly we need to get ready for this experience. So one moment, please. We're ready.
I'll go put on my livery and get into character here.
Ready.
Yes. Hey. Go for it, Matt.
Okay, so this is how to make a Prince Kuragin. This is a great cocktail for a hot summer day. It's also a great cocktail for using up some of those miscellaneous liqueurs you may have in your liquor cabinet you don't know what else to do with. So it's pretty simple to make. And I'll give you the measurements. The first thing you need is 30 milliliters of lemon juice. Then you'll need about 15, 20 milliliters of cherry liqueur. Then we need about 40 milliliters of creme de violet. And we need just a splash of the combier, just to give it a little sweetness. And finally, depending on how strong you like your drinks, I'd say about 80 to 100 milliliters of vodka. We'll go on the light side since it's only 11 in the morning.
What are you talking about?
And then get a good-sized cocktail shaker filled with ice. Pour it all in there. And nice vigorous shake. And this should make 2 decent-sized cocktails. And pour it into a glass of your choice. And voila, delicious purple cocktail suitable for a hot summer day like today.
Mm.
All right, Matt, that was absolutely refreshing. I can't wait to have a sip of that beverage someday. Would you like to play another selection for us? We don't get to hear you play solo often enough, and I think it would be lovely.
I would be happy to.
What would you like to play?
Well, you had asked me earlier about some of my early influences, and probably the biggest influences on me as a musician and as a composer and as a pianist, at least in my younger days, was the music of Frederick Chopin and Scott Joplin. And several years ago, I wrote a piano rag, which is an homage to both of those composers. It has the wonderful title of Rag in F, because I've never been able to think of a better title. So if anyone watching this podcast has any ideas, please feel free to shoot them to me. But anyways, I wrote this in 2004, 2005. It's called Rag in F.
Fantastic.
Take it away. Thank you so much, Matt. That was delightful. We'll have to put our heads together to figure out, a good title for it. Maybe over some Prince Kuragins.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sounds wonderful.
Yes, it does. I can't wait. In the meantime, I'm wondering, even though, we're in the midst of a pandemic, we're all still working on some artistic endeavors. So I'd love to hear, what you're up to.
You may know already that I am working on an opera with a libretto by Kip Soteris, your husband. It's an opera based on, and as far as I know, entitled Thomas the Rhymer. So I've been working on that for a while, in fits and starts, as Kip will happily tell you. But I'm really enjoying working on it and setting his text and music. I've been trying to put together a couple of solo recitals or concerts that obviously has to take a back seat at the moment, but I was hoping to do a performance of some jazz and ragtime at some point. Someday that will happen.
Well, Matt, it has been a pleasure having you here today and learning more about you and your secret celebrity skill, and hearing, one of your fantastic compositions. I love ragtime music, so it was a real pleasure. So cheers to you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here. I'm enjoying this series of podcasts, and I'm honored to be featured in it.
Terrific.
Fantastic.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, Kelly, that was so much fun having Matt. It was really a pleasure, talking to him about, his own compositions and learning about, how he got started in music and where he's from. I especially enjoyed learning about the drinks. And now I have something new to do during this quarantine. And we need to come up with our own character drinks. Like, if you were going to pick a series that you were going to do drinks for, what would you do?
Maybe, I don't know, Fringe or something? Because I'm such a sci-fi nerd.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They would be all green and funky.
I'm trying to think what I would do. I don't know. I think I'd have to do Schitt's Creek. I'm totally into that show right now. It's just too funny. I think we could have some really crazy drinks. All right. So Kelly, tell us what's coming up.
Oh my goodness. Next, we're having a beach party with all kinds of fun surprises. With lovely beach themed music, party music, happy summer, it's too hot in the summer, all the things we're experiencing definitely right now at this very moment.
Pulls off for the party.
Yes, it'll be August 4th, and you can catch it on the Aria412 Pittsburgh YouTube channel. And we are going to be blessed to have back with us Kathy Soroka, Louise Van Mook, Rich, and hopefully his wife, Katie Williams. Wouldn't that be fantastic?
Yes.
And, back from our sentimental journey, Eric Lazik. Adore. And then maybe Zoe? Is Zoe going to sing?
I think she might.
Excellent.
Well, this has just been such a fun time. It's been a fun day to record and learn about Matt, and I'm really looking forward to our concert. And until next time.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.